The night Daniel moved into apartment 2B, Amara realized something terrifying. He wasn't hiding from the world. He was hiding something from it. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because tomorrow I'm dropping a beautiful story you definitely don't want to miss. Amara noticed it immediately from her balcony. He arrived with only 2 small duffel bags, no furniture, no friends helping him. His eyes were sharp, scanning every inch of the apartment complex like a soldier entering a battlefield. He nodded politely when she greeted him, but his smile never touched his eyes. Still, she tried to be welcoming. "Hi, I'm Amara. I live upstairs." He paused for a moment, as if evaluating her. "Daniel," he said quietly, "just moved in." He didn't offer a handshake. He didn't ask questions. He didn't even pretend to be friendly. Later that night, Amara heard the sound of metal clicking in his apartment. Not normal moving in noises. These were precise, cold, rhythmic, like someone assembling machinery. Or weapons. She shook off the thought and went to sleep. But that was only the beginning. Over the next few days, Daniel's behavior grew stranger. He always left his apartment at 2:15 a.m. exactly, every single night. He always returned exactly 35 minutes later. He never turned on his lights. He never opened his windows. He never spoke to anyone. And then there were the deliveries. Brown boxes taped in heavy black strips. No labels. No markings. The delivery man always looked nervous dropping them off. One afternoon, Amara caught Daniel dragging a box inside. She accidentally startled him when she said, "Hi!" And he jumped backward like someone about to be attacked. "You shouldn't sneak up on people," he muttered. "I wasn't sneaking," she replied softly. "Just checking in. Haven't seen you around." He looked at her again, carefully, studying her face like he was memorizing every detail. Then he surprised her. "Do you always care this much about strangers?" he asked. Amara blinked. "I'm just trying to be friendly." He closed the door without another word. That night, she heard him again. Metal scraping. Something heavy being dragged. A faint alarm beep. Then silence. Her heart began to race. Who exactly had moved into the apartment below her? One evening, Amara returned home from work to find a note slipped under her door. In messy handwriting, it read, "Stay away from Daniel. You're in danger." There was no signature. She looked down at apartment 2B. His lights were off again. Was it from a neighbor? A friend of his? Someone trying to scare her? Her mind spun with possibilities, and anxiety began to settle in her chest like wet sand. She went to bed early, but around midnight, a noise woke her. Voices. Hushed. Urgent. Right outside her door. She crept toward the peephole and held her breath. Daniel was standing there, talking to a man dressed in all black. "I told you, I'm not going back," Daniel whispered fiercely. "You don't have a choice," the man replied. "They want the item returned." Amara's pulse hammered. Returned? What item? Who were they? The man stepped closer. "You have 3 days, or they'll come for you. And anyone near you." Near you. Her blood turned cold. Daniel lived directly beneath her. The next morning, Amara gathered her courage and marched downstairs. She knocked hard on Daniel's door. He answered instantly, like he had been standing behind it. "What do you want?" he asked softly. "I heard your conversation last night," she blurted out. "Someone threatened you. And me." His jaw tightened. "You shouldn't have been listening." "You were right outside my door," she snapped. "What's going on? Are you in some kind of trouble?" He hesitated. For the first time, she saw fear in his eyes. And guilt. "I didn't want you involved," he whispered. "You moved into a building with people. You involved us." He rubbed his forehead, looking torn. Finally, he said, My name isn't Daniel. Amara's breath hitched. And I'm not just in trouble. I'm being hunted. He stepped aside and allowed her in. His apartment was shockingly empty. No photos. No decorations. No bed. Just a thin mattress on the floor and a metal case on the table. I used to work for a covert agency, he said. Sitting down, I was part of an extraction division. We help people disappear. So you help criminals? She asked carefully. I help families escape oppression. I saved lives. His voice cracked a little. But the agency had a side operation. Something illegal. Something I couldn't be part of. He opened the metal case. Inside was a small black device, no bigger than a phone, covered in blinking blue lights. They created a prototype, something that could track anyone, anywhere, through every digital footprint. It could erase privacy from a world. Amara stared. That's dangerous. That's why I stole it, he said quietly. I'm trying to destroy it. Is that who's after you? Your agency? He nodded. And now they know where I am. That night, the attack came. 3 dark SUVs stopped at the gate. Men in tactical gear jumped out silently and moved toward the building. Amara, watching from her balcony, froze. She ran downstairs and pounded on Daniel's door. They're here. He grabbed the device, stuffed it into a backpack, and pulled her behind him. We escaped through the back stairwell, he said. They sprinted down the hall as footsteps thundered behind them. A voice shouted, Stop! Surrender the device! Daniel pushed a metal door open, and they dashed into the dimly lit stairwell. A bullet pinged off the railing, and Amara screamed. Keep moving! Daniel urged. They burst out into the alley behind the building, breathless. Daniel grabbed her arm. We have to leave the city. Now! But my things, my life. If you stay, they'll kill you. Her eyes filled with tears. But she nodded. This wasn't just his fight anymore. They fled through back roads, Daniel avoiding every major route, checking mirrors constantly. At one point, Amara asked, Why me? Why tell me the truth? Why not leave alone? He glanced at her, then back at the road. Because someone warned you. That means they're watching you. 2. If I disappear, you become their leverage. Amara's chest tightened. So we're stuck together, she whispered. Not stuck, Daniel said softly. I'll keep you safe. I promise. For the first time, his tone felt human, warm. They reached a small safe house, a cabin deep in the forest. Daniel took apart the black device with careful hands. Once I destroy the core, it will be useless, he said. We just need time. But time was the one thing they didn't have. Just before dawn, headlights appeared in the woods. Dozens of them. Run! Daniel shouted. They sprinted into the trees as armed agents surrounded the cabin. A voice boomed through a megaphone. Daniel, surrender the device and the girl will live. Amara grabbed Daniel's sleeve. Just destroy it. I need 30 seconds, just 30. They ducked behind a fallen tree. Daniel flipped open the device, wire sparking. The agents drew closer, weapons raised. Daniel, Amara whispered, shaking, we won't make it. Yes, we will, he said firmly. I won't let anything happen to you. He cut the final wire. The device emitted a high-pitched ring and exploded in a flash of white light. Every agent froze. Their trackers shut off. Their comms went dead. Their screens blacked out. Now! Daniel grabbed Amara's hand. While they're blind, they ran, through the trees, past the silent men, far beyond the cabin. For the first time since he arrived, Daniel actually smiled. You're safe now, he whispered. Weeks passed. The agency crumbled after the device was revealed to the press. Its leaders were arrested. The dangerous technology was gone. Amara returned home, but this time Daniel was beside her, using his real name, Elias. He started a new life, a real life. One evening on the balcony, he turned to her and said, "You saved me, you know." She laughed softly. "Pretty sure you saved me. Maybe we saved each other." He took her hand gently, cautiously, like a man who had lived too long in the shadows and finally found a place where the light didn't burn. Her heart warmed. For the first time since he moved into 2B, she wasn't afraid of who he was. She was grateful because her neighbor wasn't who he said he was. He was better, kinder, braver, and now he was hers.
Thank you so much for watching today's story. I really appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we've got even more incredible stories coming your way tomorrow. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next.